Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 30 of my PySimpleGUI lessons. In today's video, we're going to be updating GUIs with frames. So first, let's show the end result. We're going to have a frame like this with an account and password. In here, we need to input the correct things. For the account, let's say Charles, and the password would be 1234. If it's not this, let's say like we don't write a password, then we press OK, nothing happens. But after we press 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we press OK, we go to a materials list with some famous books. So let's get to it. First, let's import PySimpleGUI as SG, and then let's make a list. Inside this list, we can have the famous book titles that we talked about: Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, and Hunger Games. This will be useful later on. And then now let's make the layout. In the layout, let's have two frames. So in the first frame, we can give this a title, just call it frame, and we can give this a layout. Let's give this to layout A, and then up here we can define that variable. Layout A, let's say, is the account and password window, so we can do sg.text account. Account has two C's. Account, and then on the same line, an input text element, and on the second line we have the password and another input text. Then on the last line there's a button that says OK. Alright, so that's layout A. And then in this same line we have another frame. This frame, the title is called materials, and we can give this a layout of layout B. Now let's define layout B here. Layout B is a list box that we showed over here with the different ones: Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, Hunger Games. This is a list box. So sg.lb list box, and then we used this list that we wrote at the really beginning for the 4 titles, and let's give this a size. So 30,5, 5 lines with 30 pixels wide. Now let's give both of these frames a key. Let's give this a key called frame 1, and this a key called frame 2 to make it really simple. Okay, now let's run it. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to add everything at the end to actually print the window. Python learning, layout, while true, event and values equals window.read, and then we can print the event and the values. If event equals none, then we break, and then we close the window at the end. Okay, now let's run it. So now we have both of the frames set out like this, but as you can tell, both of them appear at the same time. We want one to appear the frame first, and then after OK is pressed, we go to materials. So to do that, we can simply, during the attributes, add another one to the second frame. We can say like visible equals false. This way it will not be visible. And then down here, since we have a button element already, we can say if event equals OK. So if this button is pressed, then we make this frame invisible and then this frame visible. So to do that, we can do window frame 1 dot update, and then inside we simply put the value. Value equals visible equals false, And then for this window, frame 2, we can update and turn the visible into true. This way, when we press OK, oh, I'm sorry, I spelled update wrong. Alright, update. Now, when we press OK, this will turn into this page. But we are still not satisfied. We want to put in the correct account and password information to do the OK. So in order to do that, let's say the account username is Charles and the password is 1234. Make it really simple. And if we do this, press OK, then this pops up. Nothing else works. So in order to do that, we can make another if statement. And if we look at the output values here, 0 is Charles and 1 is 1234. That's what we want. So if values of 0 over here, if the key is 0 and the value is Charles equals Charles, and if the value is key, if the key is 1 and the value is 1234, so values 1 equals 1234. Don't forget to add strings for this 1234. It's not integer. If this, then don't forget to indent for proper format. And then if this happens, then all of this, or else, then nothing really happens. We just pass. Now when we press OK and we put something in, let's say nothing. If we don't write anything and press OK, nothing would happen, since it goes to else and then it passes. If we only have the account name and press OK, nothing still happens. We write 123 for the password. So similar, but it's not the same. Still nothing happens. And finally, we put 1234 and we press OK. It turns into the materials list with the 4 book titles: Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, and The Hunger Games. Alright, that concludes lesson 30 of my PySimpleGUI course. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, work, code, succeed with Work for Tuition's lead.